And once again, you missed the time that the server wiped by a few minutes and spent the next few hours in the queue. Luckily, your team was able to claim a promising spot for a group base with a 2x2. But no worries, you got this. Meet the Waterloo. A multi-TC group base which is built around the idea of adding 4 armored bunkers around a standard 2x2. An open second floor allows easy traversing back and forth between the bunkers. The bunkers even protect the entrance to the former starter 2x2. The footprint elegantly mixes external and internal foundations so that the gaps between the base parts are as small and invisible as possible. The Waterloo comes with state-of-the-art battlements. Ramps are being used to create incredibly useful inner peekdowns, as well as outer peekdowns, which allow to pick off gamers below and to the side. The roof peaks allow you to surprise raiders on your roof. In addition, 4 turret-protected roof exits allow you to take back the roof from all sides. Roof ramps serve as peaks and cover from ground fire. Cost and upkeep are similar to the Alamo 2x2 base design. Regarding the raid cost, I don't want to speculate. There are 4 armored bunkers around an armored core. During a standard raid, where raiders pummel rockets into the core from a safe distance, they need to overcome 5 armored walls for all main loot. That's 60 to 75 rockets on top of the outer walls. Of course, when raiding the base offline on a dead server, it will be possible to exploit splash damage and use jackhammer raiding for a substantial discount. The shooting floor is designed to remain intact if raiders just send rockets into the core. Before building it, experience the base firsthand by loading it in on Builder Sanctuary with the code on screen. Since you get to check out the base there, I'll skip the tour in favor of showing you the build stages. Using the second code, you can spawn a version of the base that allows you to load each of the stages that you're seeing via the Layers menu. This is an expert build. Practice it on a build server before trying it in-game. To speed up the video, I will upgrade everything to its final tier. In-game, you will likely start with stone and sheet metal doors, and progressively upgrade over time. I'm grateful to the countless people who provided feedback, and I'd like to point out the significant contributions from Dr. Slayer, Legal, Minisatori, and Manly Cat. On to the build. We start out with a standard 2x2 with a triangle airlock. The triangle airlock should be on the right hand side. Here I'm using a design with 2 loot rooms next to each other. However, it works with any layout on the inside. Next, we'll claim the build site by building the external TCs. There need to be armored triangle foundations on all sides of the 2x2. On all 4 sides, add a twig triangle and build out 9 squares. Come back with triangles and finish with a square. Upgrade that square and 2 triangles. Destroy the rest of the twig. Build out 5 squares and 2 triangles. Claim the build site by placing the TC onto the outer triangle. Next, I recommend working on the external TCs to create a compound. This makes you much more resilient against early griefing attempts, and it provides you with space to deploy large furnaces. Let's complete the external TC bunkers. In front of the TC, raise the honeycombed 1/2 wall. This needs to be a half wall, then a full wall. Otherwise, create a chain of garage doors. Honeycomb the TC and upgraded its ceiling to armored. Replace the last square with a triangle and place a roof ramp onto it. Upgrade this foundation and the roof to armored. To To connect the TC to the roof ramp and everything beyond it, place a triangle floor tile into this space. For the compound gatehouse, we use the Alone in Tokyo design. Add 2 high external walls running in parallel with the foundation to each side of the gatehouses. This should leave you enough space for a 5th wall that closes the gap nicely. Those corners can now hold large furnaces. Currently, the external TCs serve as grief protection. If raiders destroy the TC of the 2x2, they cannot replace it and thus not gain control over the base. To replace the main TC, you need to disconnect the externals. To that end, destroy the twig floor tile inside of each bunker. The building privilege no longer gets transferred to the roof ramp and the building blocks beyond. Once you replace the main TC, replace the twig. Next, we extend the starter 2x2 by adding the bunkers. You must complete the core footprint first, or the bunkers will prevent you from placing it. Add foundations as shown, but don't upgrade that square. Onto the right triangle, add a shelf and a garage door. Use the shelf for 2 large and 2 small boxes. For maximum splash separation, upgrade the back wall to armored, then honeycomb the part behind it. Apart from the airlock, close off the left triangle. Use 2 drop boxes for extra storage. Before you can place the bunker wall, you need to destroy the twig foundation. Place the wall, but do not yet upgrade it beyond stone. You need to first place this floating floor frame. Add protection around the foundation that holds the bunker wall. A well-placed shotgun trap automatically closes the bunker if somebody without building privilege tries to access it. Place a wall onto the lone triangles to reconnect them to the core of the base. To prevent the airlock from being a weak point, optionally upgrade the outer wall to armored, as well as the doorway to activate the conditional model. To make it safe to traverse between bunkers, let's add the second floor. Those tips will be the turret pods. These sides are the pathways to the bunkers. Those 2 triangles will be utility storage. The other 2 will be jump ups. Protect those with shotgun traps. Other than a tier 3 and sleeping bags, I'd leave the space empty to give your team room to run back and forth between the bunkers. Above the jump ups, you want roof exits. Remember that shotgun traps are your friends. The bunkers are still just protected by the compound and shotgun traps. Let's change that and construct the outer wall. Complete the foundations as shown. Build an airlock in front of the bunker. Run a line of wall frames to the gatehouse and use them to separate the compound. Use stone walls for the double triangle and a metal wall for the square. Add floors above the open spaces. Extend the walls one layer up. We're mixing stone and metal on purpose. During a raid, the metal is expected to stay up and continue to carry the shooting floor. Behind the airlock, place boxes onto the ground. Use a wall frame above the bunker to separate this space. The other empty space can take more boxes or oil refineries. Next, let's complete the third floor of the core. Build window loot rooms above the triangles on the right. Embed wall frames for extra stability. One of them should be a battery room. On the very left, use wall frames for stability. Those two spaces will be jump-ups to the fourth floor. In the core, we want at least one wall as separator. Otherwise, use garage doors and fill the space with beds. Above the jump-ups, build again roof exits. Otherwise, close off the ceiling. The outer wall will be largely the same as on the second floor. The only differences are an embedded floor frame at half height in the honeycomb above the airlock, a half-height floor frame connected to the single metal wall, and the ceiling being upgraded to sheet metal. This is how it should look like. Next, we work on the shooting floor. Let's build all the floors of the Peekdowns first. Add the floor tiles above the bunker area as shown. Use the floor frame that we hid in the honeycomb to place a twig floor. Use them to create those ramp Peekdowns. If you like to cover those peaks a bit better, add a triangle floor against this wall. To the right of the airlock, erect wall frames and add another triangle onto them. Extend the square foundation and place wall frames as shown. Lead out with a floor frame and a floor tile and surround them with windows. Thanks to the floor frame embedded earlier, we have an easy way of placing another set of ramp peaks. Add floor tiles left and right to the floor frame to complete the walkway of the shooting floor. Find this single square and build a bedroom here with a locker on this adjacent triangle. Use a stone wall frame and a garage door with the roller pointing outwards. In these open triangles, build airlocks and spaces for large batteries. On the other two sides, simply add wall frames as stability support. In the core, again embed one full wall and 3 garage doors. The full wall is a great place for mixing tables. The ceiling above the core should be armored, the rest sheet metal. This is how it should look from above. Going out from the bedroom, place a full wall, a window on top of a half wall, and a garage door. Add double doors on both sides of the ramp peaks. Above this triangle, place a window, then a roof ramp, and then the other window. Other than that, surround the perimeter with windows. Place wall frames throughout the walkway for extra stability. Use single doors around the ramp peaks for extra cover. Close off the ceiling. Above the inner peaks, we use floor frames attached to the outer parts and sheet metal floor tiles attached to the core. Above the outer peaks, stone floors can suffice. Use floor frames above the roof ramp, the window, and the outer peaks. Above the outer peaks, use low walls to build these heli shooting ports. Close off the space behind the raised window. Add a furnace as jump up. Reduce the width of the peaks with a horizontal embrasure. These are your roof peaks. Above the roof ramp, build a roof exit with a garage door and a double door. Behind the double door, there's an ideal place for auto turrets to protect your roof. Protect the ramps with shotgun traps. You can rewatch the video of the Tycho base to learn how to automatically open those doors if raiders land on the roof. Other than that, I'd keep the roof minimalistic with 2 square and 2 roof triangles. The one spot that is out of sight of the turrets and the roof peaks is above the outer ramps. Protect those with barricades. Windmills can go on top of the roof exits. If you need to store a minicopter, turn the 2x2 core into a hangar. As always, I hope you found this video helpful. Take care, Evil Wurst, out.